Hi everyone, today on Blaze Hackman Industries we are looking at some raw footage of video I took when I went to Papua New Guinea, and we did end up traveling to a remote village. We did have an armed escort and kind of looking at how dangerous it is. For me, I really didn't feel in danger, but maybe I was a bit oblivious to the whole thing. So I'm just going to start with, this is in no particular order, but this is the five-star hotel we rolled up to.
Hi, this is
And
Steve. Welcome to Barry.
this is me feeling quite sick and just doing a camera test. But what I noticed, we got to the airport, that was a very Midnight Express experience. I had 80 kilos of camera gear. We somehow got it through the airport, but we didn't have the right visa. Whole other story. And then we drove into town, and I thought we were just in the middle of a kind of weird town area that didn't look that good, and people were coming out of a football stadium. We did a U-turn. We ended up in this hotel. Later on, the manager told us, and it's really nice. Like if you go upstairs, there's a bar and there's a pool on level 5, which I realized was on level 5. Usually pools seem to be on the ground floor, but this one was amazing, but it had a view of this incredible primordial landscape, the hills in the distance. But I think that was because at level 5, when you're in the pool, you can't see all the poverty and stuff going down below. So that was on an eye opener. But yeah, this is apparently so new it hadn't been robbed yet. So, it's a third world country. There's a few issues. Australia has been helping Papua New Guinea out for a long time, but we've had a great alliance. These guys really helped us out in World War II as well. There's a whole bunch of stories. So the stage of development going on here. And if you look here, this is the harbour. This is a beautiful day. It is the tropics. We had to get a guy in who I sort of set up earlier to help me with technical things, who was based in Port Moresby, so this is Port Moresby Harbour. But you can see that real tropical sheen and glow. And that was an issue because it was affecting the shots, and it was overexposed. And had a meeting with this guy, and he just said, yeah, welcome to the tropics. So we were doing all the right things and trying to put filters on it to knock out this overexposure. But Port Moresby is just like a big city, but one of the biggest industries in Papua New Guinea is security. So there were security guards everywhere. There was even a security gate, I guess you'd call it, and a secret door that went from a hotel into the shopping centre, but there was just people everywhere watching. And ultimately, I think
It's going to do an audio test.
I wasn't that aware of any real danger because we were protected from it. So we're just out here getting kind of footage of the city, of people, of the development, and there was a piece of technology that they were bringing into Papua New Guinea to help people light their houses, especially remotely, and that had flow-on effects for kids' education and stuff like that. So here we are getting. So you can see it looks like just a normal big city. Lots of development going on. There are other parties and countries that are in here that have got various interests. I don't think all of them are good, but we did have our big fat camera. You can see this is the top of the hotel. So when we did an interview, we got to the roof of this hotel, and you can see how a few selfies here. But I just thought it was remarkable and beautiful, and you can see in the distance those hills. And the weather changes pretty quickly too. Look at that, kind of semi-stormy and humid, and a lot of things going on. So we did shoot around a few banks as far as development goes, and this is the Westpac Bank. We went to ANZ, and we always had people on the periphery watching us. And there's security guards everywhere, as I said. We actually went into, I won't mention which bank, but they let us right in, and like where the tellers are, but behind. I thought it was a bit of a security issue myself. But this is basically the business end. We also went other places like we went to the zoo, and we went to these markets. People are really nice, really humble, really friendly. And you can see the wares they've got here. This is a lot of dresses and souvenirs, people making things locally, traditional things as well. And the colours were amazing. But there were certain places where the guy who was sort of taking us around go, we can go there, we can't go there. It's not the kind of place that you can go down and put a towel on the beach like in Australia and then sunbake and come back and your stuff's there. It might not be there.
You can get that one.
This lady was really nice.
It's actually for gift.
Yes.
It's a gift shop.
Yes.
And things come as a collection from all our provinces. Especially the
She was very sweet.
province are here with some Western.
So this is one of the places the guy said, let's go out to the bear playground, some animals there. No one was around. With a hotel with a fountain. The zoo was incredible. The animals were incredible. And then these were known as secure areas. So you can really appreciate the beauty of the place. It's so green, lush. So you're going to see a bit of contrast here. So this is the armed escort that we had, which took us out to a village called Rigo that's inside there. We stopped at this muddy area. And you can see it's kind of humid and rainy now.
The bloke's going for a swim. Hey! How's the water?
I don't know what's going on here. There's a guy out there. So yeah, look, there's a lot of poverty. And we went through a lot of these areas where it was, very similar to this. But people were very friendly and very curious and very welcoming overall. So, but it is interesting that security is one of the biggest industries over there.
Getting video.
We did end up in a troop carrier, and that went out to this remote village. That took a couple of hours, and we'll come up to that in a second. So yeah, this is when we did that. And then the villages just either side of the road, you'd have these little villages set up. The one thing that stood out to me was that in Australia you have road humps to slow you down, whereas they actually dig the hump. Well, it's not a hump at all, it's like the inverse. So they dig a big trench in the middle of the road and across it, and that slows you down, but it's not very comfortable. I thought this was a spectacular place. This is the only time things really got dicey, because we met this lady on the beach, and her name was Pamela, and I'm a bit boisterous and joking around, and met her and just trying to endear myself to her, but she kind of got annoyed and pissed off, and she was a bit scary. So eventually I said, no, I'm not disrespecting you, I'm just joking around, and she was cool. And then we ended up putting her in our video. And if you have a look in a second, so I'm just getting some nice banding shots in. I'm not sure if that catamaran there, if someone was living there. Also, because someone's craving surfing all the time. I didn't see any wave action there. I don't know the setups, or this is probably a bay.
Okay, that's cool.
Here's Pamela here.
Towards us now.
She's taking direction. And she literally just appeared from nowhere and walked up, and she said, "This is my beach. What are you doing on my beach?"
Look straight down into the lens.
But I don't think she had a house there, or she might have had nearby. It wasn't like this is the front of her house. And
From Vocal Fusion.
I'm saying, are you the lady from Vocal Fusion,
Sure it's your vocal.
which is like Australian Idol, or Idol of Papua New Guinea? This is what she says.
No.
Has a look.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you.
Face, yes.
No. Okay.
Yes.
She's
So,
quite
Pamela?
sweet here.
I, Pamela,
Yep.
authorize you to use my face in your video.
You should be a lawyer. That was excellent.
See the funny look she gave me? It's like, this guy's a smart ass, but she was cool.
What's the name?
She was sweet, but I wouldn't fuck with her. So the deeper we got, this is a river. People washing their clothes down by the river. It's very humid. And this is about 2 hours, I would say, to you west of Papua New Guinea. There's a very famous track called the Kota Track, which is still wrapped up in World War II history. And Australian soldiers were fighting up here. And as I said, the Fuzzy Wuzzy Warriors, they're helping the Australians in pulling injured soldiers out. So this is one of the markets, Kukila Market. And you can see here, people are just showing you their wares. And we just have it so lucky in Australia. I mean, these guys just get through it. You know, it obviously rained and there's a lot of mud here. It wasn't that pleasant. Hard to get through. But it was just such an eye-opener. And it made me very grateful. And like I said, I'm not trying to judge anyone here. I'm just bringing you exactly what happened and what we saw. And I'm really glad that we're a part of this. This job was, the circumstances behind it actually did cost me a bit of money and a bit of outlay. And, you know, I had to buy tickets and stuff. So, but then I was getting paid for it upon delivery is what we were delivering later on. So there was a lot of stress involved, I must say. It was stress getting to the airport and finding that we had 80 kilos of gear and they were going to charge us $1,000 excess, and then I had to distribute it amongst our crew. There was stress getting through the airport, there was stress getting to the hotel, just expenses, and the stress of making sure we were delivering good video, and doing that for 4 or 5 days that we were there, and having a cold at the same time. But hey, by comparison, I'm not complaining. So yeah, got quite a few shots, and I make a whole video just of this market by itself, but you can see, and there was another market I remember, but I just don't think, I think it was on the other side of the road, and there's a brief reverse shot of the car, the troopy, when we're getting it. This is it here. I mean, that kind of sums it up. Now this is me at the village. So we got to this village, and they were setting up there and getting people and telling them about this power thing. And this is me trying to start the drone. I was really conscious of the little kids around, so I didn't want to, and I hadn't actually started this drone before. I actually got the drone for the project. So, and everything was sort of on a very brief timeline, so I was rushed. So I hadn't really flown it before. And here I am, finally get it up there, but I just didn't want it to go awry and then injure someone. But we did get some fairly decent shots. You know, drones to me are just a pain in the ass. They're so needy. You have to get updates for them all the time. But they do produce good shots. But what used to be spectacular 5 years ago is now, you know, everyone's got a drone.
Can you show me where your light in this room?
This lady here, she's very nice, very humble. This is her home. She let us in. And this is the unit that is really helping people. High quality unit. There were people from another country were selling them rubbish, and then they would break down and they were charging these people, and that was really helping her, helping the kids, the education. This is one final weird selfie. I don't know what I'm doing with my mouth here. This is the beach on the way out. We had to pay some guy. Like, we negotiated to go to this beach and pay to be on this beach and check it out. And this is on the way back. So look, that's just a bunch. We're leaping around, but it's a bunch of raw footage of my experience in Papua New Guinea. We've looped back to the beginning there, but it was a real eye-opener. I'm glad I got to do it. There was a lot of pressure there, but hopefully enjoyed that. And the one thing I would say, yeah, having an armed escort, there were reports of violence and all sorts of things going on there. I never saw them, but I think that we're in a little protective bubble there and just got lucky. But as I said, I'm very grateful to have had the experience and be welcomed by the people of PNG. All right, that's it for now. Catch you for the next one. Bye.